We announced just last week that we're bringing a new product to market called CFlight, which will aggregate measurement across all screens for our premium content. It really was something that is needed, and we got full support from the marketplace. If you look at how viewers watch premium content today, they're viewing it on all different screens, yet we're not getting credit for so many things, including co-viewing in digital or all screens viewership across the board. And so we've been working with the measurement companies, and really we're hoping that someone would come and there'd be one way to measure it, and nothing was coming to the forefront. And as we're looking at viewership, we're seeing that up to 15% of viewership is being lost or now being captured across all of these different screens. And so we went to the agencies and to the marketers to talk about it, and there was overwhelming consensus that it's time, that it needs to be done, and we got great support from our agency partners that it's really time to measure this. So we're using a variety of different measurement sources because there is no one source, to combine one single source for our clients so that they can have one number to measure the audience.
So could you explain, is it for planning or attribution, or where does it fit into the cycle?
It's measuring impressions, it'll help us project, but it's also measuring them post-airing, so that it's the way for us to measure the impressions of the audience that viewed an advertiser spot in premium content. One of the things that I thought was most interesting, and it may not have been an aha, but when we looked at it, is that television tends to get, the 35 to 49 end of the audience en masse. And television overall is a great mass vehicle, but when we added in these other screens, you saw the mass come from the younger end of the segment on some of our digital video, in terms of our VOD, FEP, because the younger viewers, they are being trained to watch premium content differently. And when a show program is great, they're going to find it wherever it is on their terms. And so when we looked, there was a chart that showed, when you measure it in TV, it's like, here's your 18 to 24, here's your 25 to 34, and here's your 35 to 49. And when you measure it on the other screens, here's your 18 to 24, 25. And so when you put it together, you had this full picture, a total audience of 18 to 49. And that was a huge aha moment, was that we need to do this so that marketers can capture the full audience.
Great. I wanted to ask you, you guys made an announcement about ad load in some of the premium programming.
That's right.
Could you explain a little bit about, what the implications are and how that might look, and some of the reasons behind it, and how that might roll out?
Sure. So our goal was, we hear that consumers as well as marketers want a better experience. Consumers for viewing their programs, and marketers for really more consumers engaging around their ads. So our goal on the outset was, how do we create a better experience for both consumers and marketers? And one thing that came about was that we need to really reduce the clutter, and it was through load as well as number of ads. And so we're reducing that in most of our programming in prime time, and we're going to be replacing it. Some will be with program content, and some will be with what we're calling commercial innovation. So working with marketers to create compelling content around our IP that engages a consumer through the commercial break, but for a marketer's brand. So the feedback from the ad community has been overwhelmingly positive. We're also going to create what we're calling the Prime Pod. So a standalone 60-second break that can be wholly owned by one marketer, or there can be two running 30-second ads. And it will be either at the top or the end of a program, and really to help engage a consumer through that commercial break to really resonate with the marketer's message.